Hi everyone, James here, and for my collection slash haul video, I think it was best that I started off with my haul for the moment. So, just as a general run through, I've before us, I have 2 Transformers and 7 Lego sets. I'll be getting a lot more into that stuff over there in the background in a couple of minutes, but for the time being, I'm just going to focus on this stuff. So, starting off with Transformers, first thing, first thing on the list is Transformers Combiner Wars Voyager Silverbolt. Now, I'll definitely say this. I actually am quite pleased that I finally got my hands on Silverbolt. Even more surprising than that is that now at my local Target where I bought this, now either it's just me or else Silverbolt seems to be a very unpopular Voyager. I mean, there looked to be what almost seemed like 20 of this guy still sitting on shelves since first the Combiner Wars hit toy stores. So this it was quite surprising to see as many as I did, but I'm very happy to have Silverbolt nonetheless. Just putting him to the side. Next here is actually the most recent addition to the collection, Transformers Robots in Disguise Night Ops Bumblebee. I think it's Night Ops. Now, my initial plan was to actually buy the very first RID Bumblebee. You know, largely yellow color scheme, a couple of black highlights here and there. But unfortunately, I'd had very little luck in that venture. However, I managed to find this guy yesterday for actually a much better price than I would have normally gotten my Transformers. So I picked up the guy, and honestly, I think he looks pretty okay as he is. Now, I actually am happy to announce that in part 1 of the video, I mentioned that I have a lot of customs planned. This Bumblebee, I actually am using for an upcoming custom. Sorry. Now, I won't reveal exactly what it is for, because obviously that would be spoiler alert. But I'm happy to announce that now, I am again happy to announce that this figure will be used as a custom, and it will be a complete paint over or repaint of this guy. So I'm very happy to announce that. Putting this one to the side. Now to get into the Lego, and I'll start from smallest to biggest. First on the list is the Lego Dimensions Jurassic World pack. Now, at the moment, unfortunately, I don't really have a games console, so unfortunately, I'm somewhat hindered in playing the actual game itself. But a lot of the spare parts that I found with this set actually come in a lot of sorry. A lot of the spare parts that come with this set are very beneficial to me, and I've already used some of them in different projects or displays. So I'm very happy that I actually have this now. So yeah, putting that to the side. Next on the list is actually one that I actually got the furthest. Let me explain that. So obviously here we have the Lego Ant-Man Final Battle set. Now, as far as I've tried to find this here in Australia, I haven't been able to. So, whenever my aunt was coming over for a holiday, this was actually a small request that I'd made if she could bring over for me, and I'm just so happy to finally have it. Now, you actually will notice a couple of the minifigs over there later on, but I have a couple of customs planned. Now, unfortunately, my mum has a severe case of arachnophobia, and if I actually angle the box like this, you'll see the ant. Now, even though obviously the ant isn't a spider, I think that she has a general fear of anything that has more than 4 legs. So rather than have this giant thing on display to freak her out, I decided that I would use the parts for other projects. So just still very happy to have this set all together, and very happy to have the minifigs as well. So putting that to the side. Now, after getting through all that, now you really get into the Age of Ultron stuff. And first on the list is actually the Avengers Hydra Showdown. This is actually the second one of these I've bought this year. Now, there were actually quite a few specific pieces in this set that I needed for other customs and other mocks. So I was very happy to finally get this at actually a much better price than I thought I was going to get it at. So yeah, very happy to have it. I now have extra minifigs and extra pieces, so very happy to have this. Now the next set is actually one that I've wanted for so long. The Hydra Fortress Smash. I've basically, now this one is actually rather significant for me because I've been wanting to get this set for 6 months. I wasn't able to get it on. I think no matter where I looked online, I don't think I could have gotten it for a decent enough price without having to pay a ton of money for shipping. And now the most annoying part I find about this set is that it's a Toys R Us exclusive, and the nearest Toys R Us to where I live isn't exactly nearby. It was quite a drive out there, and last week I went out there I went out to the store because they said that they had this in stock on their website. Unfortunately, they didn't. However, I got a call from the store to say that these sets were officially in stock over this past weekend, so I was finally able to get my hands on it. And at long last, I now have my hands on the exclusive minifigs Baron von Strucker and Quicksilver at long last. So yeah, I'm very, very happy to have this set at long last. And overall, just very happy to see what I can do with some of the parts. So, there we are. Now, we get into the Ninjago stuff. Actually, one small thing to note is that there are actually no bricks inside any of these boxes. They're just completely empty. That was because I wanted to keep the boxes just so that way it would be easier to display everything. And in addition, as soon as I bought the sets, I more or less wanted to start building them immediately. So now, for example, with part of this set, I kept the tank, but I didn't necessarily keep all of this. I want to use a lot of the spare parts for other projects. So that is not in existence. This is. So moving on. Now we move on into the Ninjago stuff. And here we have the Titan mech battle. I have to say, this set is very, very cool. I especially love Zane's ice mech. Very, very impressive. Lots of detail, lots of articulation. And overall, very pleased with it. Now, I didn't necessarily keep... Now, for the record, I think this mech... Sorry, some lights getting in the way. I think this set is referred to as Mechenstein, I think. And I didn't necessarily keep a lot of the parts because many of the dark blue parts I need for an upcoming custom, or at least hopefully upcoming. A lot of the different parts will prove beneficial in other areas. But I will say this. There are quite a few ghosts come with this set, or with several of these Ninjago sets, and rather than have normal translucent legs, as some of them have, others have an all-new leg form, which is pretty much the representation of ghosts, and I have to say, this is very, very cool, and I'm definitely holding on to these. So yeah, very impressive set. I love a lot of the details that come with it, especially some of the weapons. So yeah, there is the Mechenstein set. Second last set is Attack of the Moro Dragon. Now this thing is not only enormous, but it comes with a lot of parts. In fact, what's actually, now admittingly one of the sad things about this set is I didn't keep, now in terms of building it and keeping it, I didn't necessarily do that. Now, of course, I kept a lot of the minifigs. I actually built this small temple-like area. However, I didn't keep the Moro Dragon itself, as I'm rather limited on space for storing this stuff, and a lot of the specific pieces that come with this set are of great benefit, or are very beneficial to me in other stuff. So, unfortunately, I wasn't going to keep the dragon, but a lot of the parts will prove of greater use to me later down the line. But overall, this set is just enormous, and it is fantastic. So, yeah. And the very last, but by no means least, the biggest of them all, the final flight of Destiny's Bounty. This sucker is enormous. Now, in comparison to a lot of the previous Ninjago sets where I kept one half and didn't keep the rest, and in particular with the Moro Dragon, I didn't keep the dragon, so a lot of the parts are stored away. Not only was this actually the very first Ninjago sets that I bought since completing the HSC, I completely built this thing from... I actually did build this thing. I didn't necessarily keep the small dragon up here, but I built the entire ship. It is absolutely enormous. You'll be seeing it later up there. I kept a lot. Sorry. I kept a lot of the minifigs. A lot of very specific parts are going to come in great use later. But overall, this sucker is once again enormous, and it is actually much more impressive than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, there we are. So that is my official haul after completing the HSC over. And now it's time to take a little bit of a more in-depth look at some things. Over here, now this is actually, all of this is very recent. I wanted to pretty much get very organized with all of my Lego. So over the course of the past week, I've bought these two storage bins of sorts, or storage drawers. Now these were actually very cheap value. Admittedly, some of the plastic is a little bit flimsy, but it was cheap. They have relatively good storage, and overall, that's all that's important to me. Now I won't go through every single drawer right now because I know I'm a little bit pressed for time. But brief rundown. I wanted to get ultra specific with my Lego pieces. So here we have varying Lego bricks. Lego plates, same with this one. This one is actually one of the more challenging ones. This is what I refer to as my translucent / transparent brick bin, or drawer of sorts, sorry. Here we have a lot of flat plates or flat panels, so this one has a smooth edge. Again, a lot more very specific pieces here. Now, up on top are actually a couple of different pieces as well. In this box, or in this tin, are a lot of Lego bricks I'm using for a couple of different customs, but I want to store in there for the time being. Here we have 3 Marvel minifigs. I just want to keep these out since they look cool. Couple of different boxes for different customs I'm going to be working on at one point or another. Now this bizarre contraption isn't actually going to serve a lot of purpose. However, my plan is each of these are black swords now, before you are actually 9 black swords that came in all of the Ninjago set you saw earlier. And what I plan to do is keeping the hilt and the handle the exact same color, black. I'm actually going to paint each and every one of the blades in a silver. Because something about that just seems a little bit more creative to me. I'm not sure why. I just want to experiment in a couple of different ways. So there's that. Now I have a couple of different tubs here. This bottom one is for the very small ball socket or ball joint and socket system that Lego has recently brought out. Most commonly found, I think, in their Mixels series. So a lot of those different stuff. A couple of Ninjago minifigs and minifig spare parts that I want to paint up at some point. And up at the very top here is actually quite a few Ant-Man things. Now, in particular, I actually just want to show this. I'm currently working on a custom, I suppose, backpack apparatus for Yellow Jacket. This is largely inspired by the Lego customizer MGF Customs. Very impressive thus far, at least I hope so. Just working on a lot of different stuff. Just throw him back in there. Now, I actually am also customizing the helmets. Now, I won't reveal what I'm doing with those right now. I'll be revealing those later. So I'll put that back in there. So there is that. Oh, actually, that is something else, and I can't believe it took me this long. I rearranged the room again, but something about this but having the room like this in particular just feels a lot more spacious and a lot more open. And that's really something that I missed whenever it was in its previous arrangement, because it felt very narrow and very cramped. But now there's a lot more space. So yeah, got a couple of cork boards up there, a couple of photos for inspiration. In particular, I have Ant-Man here, one of the Iron Man suits from Iron Man 3. And on my Transformers display, nothing has really changed in these top two shelves. However, in this next shelf, I've got since last I did a video, I've actually gotten quite a few new Transformers. Obviously, you've seen these two. Since last I did a video, I've actually bought three new Combiner Wars figures. I've bought Breakdown, Dead End, and Motormaster, thus creating Minosaur. But excuse Skydive, because unfortunately I don't have any other deluxe Combiner Wars figures. It's very strange because all the deluxe Combiner Wars figures that I'm looking for, all of them have just straight up vanished. So it's gonna be a while until I find them again. Going down, Bionicle Tahu, Iron Man action figure, a couple of spare bits and bobs. This is my customizing shelf where I keep all of my customizing tools. So yeah, I'm very happy. A couple of strange bits and bobs. All the boxes that you just saw earlier. And now on the top of the wardrobe is my Lego collection. And believe me, this is vast. So we have all of my Lego Marvel collection up until this point, a couple of spare minifigs, and then from this point down, we have Lego Ninjago. Now, much of this I have shown before, so I'll just skim through it as briefly as I can. We have my Age of Ultron Iron Man minifigs, my Hulkbuster custom, or my Hulkbuster mock. I've changed quite a few parts in it recently, and I still have a long way to go in terms of specific pieces, but I'm very happy with how it is now. Captain America, Black Widow, with her custom painted batons. Might actually do a new version of those batons at some point, but for now I'm actually pretty happy with how it looks. Thor, Hawkeye, Hulk, Vision, Scarlet Witch. Actually, since last I showed Scarlet Witch, I've since replaced her translucent blue weapon things with these red plates, translucent red plates, because I feel as though those are a little bit more accurate to the movie rather than what Lego provided. Here we have Quicksilver at long last. My 6 Ultron minifigs. Baron von Strucker and 3 Hydra henchmen, Star-Lord, Ant-Man, where Yellow Jacket would normally be, and the Miles Morales Spider-Man. Actually, I still love the detail that went into this minifig. It's just incredible. Actually, just on the topic of Ant-Man, now that I remember it, you'll notice that this obviously isn't the Ant-Man that Lego brought out. Now, I'm sure that it's one point or another, Lego fans have mocked how the head provided for Scott Lang's Ant-Man was Ezra's from Lego Star Wars Rebels. However, I actually saw a mock that someone had done where or they had given Scott Lang Star-Lord's face, or Chris Pratt's Lego face, and provided him with some spiky hair. So that's exactly what I did, and I actually feel so this version looks a lot more accurate to the movie. So I provided him with the Chris Pratt head that came with the Lego Jurassic World set, and in the Spur Hydra Showdown I actually provided him, or gave him, the exact same hair as Hawkeye. So at the moment I feel as though it's a lot more accurate to what I was hoping for. And in the background, once again, I have the Avengers Tower, the Quinjet, the Hydra tank, and now moving across into here, with these minifigs, I have Emmett from the Lego Movie, a ACU soldier from Jurassic World, and as goofy as this is, a Lego version of me, I hope. Now, of course, moving into Ninjago, in the background I have Zane's Ice Mech, the absolutely enormous Destiny's Bounty. As I said, this thing is enormous. Small temple, a little grappling hook, and here we have the Ninjago minifigs themselves. Oh, sorry, camera's in the way, or fingers in the way. So from left to right, we have Kai, Zane, Jay, Cole, Lloyd, Nia with her Samurai X, I suppose, costume in the back, and then Sensei Wu. Now, what I actually really liked about the Final Flight of Destiny's Bounty set is that they actually provided quite a few of the minifigs, specifically Cole, Lloyd, and Nia. They provided them with hair, so that's something I wanted to do with the other minifigs. So I already had hair for Jay and Kai, but none for Zane, and in particular, because since Lego has since now has now portrayed him as a robot, his hair in the television series has since gone from a blonde to a silver, and unfortunately Lego hasn't portrayed this particular hairstyle in silver, so I actually went out and painted that. So I'm actually quite happy with how it looks right now, maybe a little bit too shiny, but I'll work on that at some point. But I'm actually quite happy with how each and every one of them look. The detail is very impressive, and I felt as though giving some of the ninja weapons would seem a little bit more cooler, or would seem cooler. I'm actually quite happy that worked out. I'll definitely get around to giving Lloyd, Nia, and Samurai X some weapons at some point. But for now, that's it. Just down. So yeah, that is my Lego collection at the moment. Well, aside from what you've seen over there, that is it. So you get to see my pretty face again. But yeah, that's now between the last vlog I did and now that's pretty much all that I've been up to. I've bought a lot of Lego, a couple of Transformers, and I have a lot of plans for the future. And very last note is I do apologize for the over excessive amount of vlogs that I've done. As I go back and I look on them and I reflect on what I said and did in them, I pretty much repeated the exact same things over and over again, somehow believing that I hadn't covered them in the last 10 videos. So I apologize about that, but the good news is I'm back. Videos are gradually coming very soon. I'm still just enjoying a little bit of downtime. My collection is growing ever bigger by the day. And I'm just really looking forward to what the next couple of months hold. So until then, thanks for watching everyone. Please subscribe for more videos. Please subscribe to my friends JackTheAnimator, Dreadwing2029. And until next time, thanks for watching and it's great to be back.